So yesterday I pretty much base coat the black base coat to the rest of this diorama. I didn't do this wall and I didn't do the floor. Reason being, I want to add something to the floor, and I also wanted to add vent and some other stuff to this. So, you know, in making dioramas, again, man, it'll be it'll be 1 year for me come April since I've tried my first diorama. So it was about a year ago today that around this time that I started to do some research. Again, I had no idea where these dope backgrounds was coming from. Action Figures was posing in front of some really amazing backgrounds. So I started doing some research, and again, AJ Frost was one of the first dudes that I found, and he mentioned Bob, who I couldn't find at first just because he wasn't going by Bob the Odd, he was going by Lunkermouth, but eventually I did. And so I started learning from them, man. So everything, and I know I've said this like a million times, I'm pretty sure even Bob and AJ's tired of hearing it if they watch these videos, but I mean, those are the guys that I learned from, man. Those are my teachers, and so with that mindset and with the fact that they were able to, through trial and error, give us a playbook, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys realize how valuable that is. I'm telling you, it's to come up with something and just give it away. Not a lot of people do, man. So I give credits to those guys, and my personality is I'm like that anyway, but even more so when it comes to a situation where here are these guys that are just kind of again, trial and error, figuring it out, messing up, it's not working out, this is working out, boom, I'm recording, I'm gonna YouTube it, I'm gonna let people know, let the world know how it goes. So vents, as anyone can tell you, if you've worked on them yourself, they're a pain in the ass, man. They're not the funnest things to do in the world, just because you got to be pretty precise. So I've set up for this process. I haven't tried it yet, but it should work out. What I'm gonna do here is, instead of what I've done in the past is that I'll take I'll take these pieces and kind of glue them together and put the vent, and man, it's tough. So instead, what I'm gonna do is I've already cut out the vent hole. So what I'm gonna do is then I kind of sharpened it out. So I'm gonna do is stab this and proceed doing that with those 4 of the sticks after I sharpened them out. Then I'm gonna lay this on top. So what it will do, it'll make it seem like it's a vent that was time consuming, and it wasn't. It was gonna be pretty easy compared to the last vent that I made for Sling's dio. It was definitely a little more difficult. It took me a little more time. So this is gonna be the technique that I'm gonna use, and then what this piece is gonna be, and I also have another piece for this side. This is just gonna be cement on the bottom, so brick up top, cement on the bottom. One thing I do want to mention that I learned yesterday is the black. So this is like that project foam board, with the kind of cardboard on it or whatever. Now, for whatever reason, when you start peeling it, the white foam board does that, and it's really difficult to peel it. The black foam board peels right to the foam, and I just learned this yesterday. I've been buying white for the most part, and then I bought black. I don't even know why, and bam, I'm like, whoa, that's what's up. And then this foam lets you manipulate it as well. It's not as tight as the pink stuff, but it's definitely pretty tight. So I'm gonna put that, and I'm gonna dent it up a little bit. So that'll be some cement, some brick, and then the vent will be in there. So I just wanted to share that real quick before I start this process, so you guys get an idea of how I created that vent. All right, y'all, be back. Alright, so I am done with the black wash, the black base, except for the floor, because I think I want to do one of them sewer joints that I had done before, and I haven't done in a while. I don't even know why, but I think I'm going to do it here. I may not, but so I'm just going to leave this for last. But I painted that wall, threw on the vent. Vents, baby! Vents. Threw on that vent and a window, because I think I'm gonna go with that fire escape. I just think it's gonna be a dope. It'll be dope shots from that angle. I just saw the homie Tommy. He made an incredible diorama. That shit is amazing. It has like beams going across the top, and he just took this shot. And I think it's Batman, Robin, and somebody else is just overlooking Bane and a bunch of thugs or whatever. And I thought it was a real dope shot, and a real dope dial. So I thought, man, that's great, because if if I can put that fire escape there, there is some possibilities of those type of angles. Definitely like how, I don't know if you can tell, but I definitely like how this looks. And again, this is that project foam board where I just peel the paper off, and I think that's a real good look. And I don't have to beat it up too much. It already has some kind of personality, I don't even know what word I'm looking for, but it gives it a different look than this that I do manually, and this is more natural because of the foam. It's not as tight as that foam. So yeah, so this is where I'm at right now, just with the black. And so I'm gonna start painting it soon. Somehow I took on 5 dioramas today, and I have to finish them in 2 weeks. So this is gonna be really interesting. So I want to wrap this one up real quick, so that I can get going on those other ones. I mean, four out of the 5s are going to be on the smaller side, and that 5th one's going to actually be pretty huge. So got to start working on that. So got to finish this up real quick. So I'm hoping that I'm done with this, and even if I'm not, I'll put it to the side for a little bit. That's cool. All right, y'all. Hope y'all like it so far. Peace. All right, so just progressing along. I've painted everything, so the floor is not painted, and I was hesitating before I painted the floor because I wanted to do more, and I just decided to do some of this gunk and what have you, and I'll add some more things in there to make it look more gunky as opposed to just dirt, gunk, what have you. Just to kind of give it the that different feel, or that feel of any street. You're never gonna have a street that's completely clean and clear. So I did that. Painted the brick color on there. Got to give it a second coat. I gave it a second coat, but for whatever reason, a couple sections here didn't really cover as good as I wanted them to cover. And then tonight I'll work on the gray on the walls, and the wood on the shanty and the tin roof. The frames, got to paint the frames of the door as well as the window. But yeah, man, it's coming along, man. I'm liking how it's coming along. I feel like I'm going real slow on this, so I don't know. I think having worked on back-to-back 12, 13-inch dials kind of spoiled me a little bit, because I was zipping through those. And then obviously for this one, gotta take my time a little bit. It's a little more space, a little more just a bigger dial to work with. But yeah, man, after I do this one, I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I think I've said that a bunch of times, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a break for working on dials for myself. I have a bunch of commissions lined up, and people are being real patient, and I have to get to those. So I originally I just wanted to work on something for me, something for someone else, and kind of go back and forth. But yeah, I'm gonna be pretty happy once I'm done with this one, because then I think at this point I'll own like 14, 15 different dioramas, and I really want to get back into toy photography. I just feel like I've been kind of slacking on that. I've just been really working on this craft, and having a good time, obviously, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't be working on it the way I am. So this is where we're at right now, and gotta order some dumpsters today, because I want to throw a dumpster in that corner. And I forgot who, somebody put a link. It might have been Mike Fleck. I'm not even sure, man. Somebody put a link to a website that has some real cool dumpsters. Decided to not build them just because they look really, really good, and I probably couldn't make them look as good. And according to some people, they're a real pain in the ass. Specifically AJ, who was like, "I will never do a dumpster again." So, all right, there's one, man. Next segment, you should see all of this painted. and then I'll probably do one last segment after that where all the details, airbrushing and all that other good stuff will be all set. All right, y'all, till the next one. All right, so this one is a wrap. This was one of those labs that just took me a lot longer, just because I was working on 5 other ones. 4 of them were fairly small, but still, they all needed their individual attention. So I had to divert my attention away from this dial, which is just a personal dial for my collection. So I kind of would work on this, section by section, little by little. But I'm pretty much done. The last step is when I put the acrylic sealer. It'll give the floor a little bit of a different look, different finish. Besides that, everything that you see here is how it's ended up. I have this light just shining in that corner, so I'm going to have to move this lamp around. So some of the highlights. Wooden Shanty. This door opens up. Wanted to give it a wood feel. So what I did is carved out wood on some foam. And I just came back at the very end and did those little black dots, which are representing nails. The reason I didn't do, so you can see there's 2 different styles here. There's actual nail-looking needles that are silver and are on the wood. That's over the Shanty, and then there's the Sharpie-made nails. I wanted to represent it to be an older Shanty, so that usually when it's older, nails start to rust, so it's a darker color. Was gonna go with a brown for the Sharpie, but the paint was brown, so I wanted for it to be distinguished a little bit, so I just went with the black. Again, just because nails can get pretty nasty, and then just kept the wooden, those pieces that are just kind of hammered on there. I kept the just the regular looking nail, so that was kind of the thinking behind that. This corner here, lately I've been working a lot with these little corners. I just kind of like that look. I don't know. I just realized after I kind of was almost finished, I was like, man, I've done this corner like 3 or 4 times already. So the electricity box back there is actually Velcroed on. The reason I decided to go with Velcro is because when you take this apart, this sticks out to a degree that there was no way I could have stacked them where this wasn't going to get crushed or ripped off. So I figured, with Velcro you can just put it, on and off whenever you were taking it out. Again, this door is not a functioning door. It's just that piece that just kind of sticks out, and then we do have a working vent down there. Went with some of that gravel and a couple of pieces of paper, glued those permanently. That's permanent. And just went with a kind of a different style, where went with one gray color here, and actually 2 colors here, a lighter gray and a little bit darker, and then with an even darker here, just to kind of be a little bit different with it. I like the color gray in general, so to have like 3 different color grays on a wall is kind of cool. Decided to paint the border kind of that rusty brown that I use for the for some of the effects here and here, that dry brush effect. So I just use that same color. These vents are removable, so I can definitely have some fighting scenes on the top here. I can have some jumps. I took a picture yesterday of Rick and Carl kind of escaping through the window, so I can kind of do some stuff there. Yeah, man, so I'm happy, again, 2 feet across, 16 deep, 16 tall, I believe is the final tally on that. But yeah, another finished product, and once again, you know, real happy with the way it came out. I can definitely do a lot of different shots here, a lot of different personalities, or not personalities, possibilities. I also noticed that on this other commission dial that I'm currently working on, I've noticed that I've gotten into a lot of the puzzle piecing, I want to call it, just because this roof kind of just slides into that area. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take it apart as I usually do with my closing video, just so you get an idea of what you got to work with once it kind of breaks down. So again, first and foremost, take off the electricity box so it doesn't get crushed. This is just a one-piecer. And then this here is actually held together by magnets. So just door in that one. So that kind of becomes a piece. We'll put this in front of the dial. And, you know, will all come apart. Have not glued the window on yet. So, floor, back wall, sidewall, sidewall. Obviously, you'd put those on top of each other. And then so by the time that it's all closed up, that's pretty much what it looks like. And then, as I usually do, I'll throw a Marvel Legends Doctor Doom Toy Biz. It's about 6 inches. And so once it stacks up, it is no taller than a Legends action figure. You know, it's still 2 feet across and 16 that way, but it's a lot more compact and extremely light. And I'm a righty, so I'm using the weak hand. Yeah, man, so that's the breakdown pretty much of this diorama. So thank you very much. And as I've been saying a lot lately, I really appreciate all the comments, the feedback, ideas. You know, I really appreciate connecting with people that I normally would not have met if it wasn't for, you know, action figures and making dioramas, and that's always cool to me. So thank you, y'all. Peace.